Hey, I'm Naya. Welcome back to the channel. So for today's video, I figured we would just discuss the ban list a bit more in depth now that I had the time to sort of step back and think about what actually happened, about every single implication. And I also encourage you to let me know down in the comments what you think of it, what sort of interests you the most, which decks you feel like will be best, which decks got hindered, all of that. So we're just gonna be jumping, back and forth a bit between decks and between actual hits on the ban list. So if we look at Sword Soul as the first deck to be discussed, Protoss got banned, obviously, which is incredible. It's been the bane of existence of probably every single Yu-Gi-Oh player that didn't play Sword Soul. And it was just an uninteractive, horrible card. It's been out for some time. Now it can just, die and go on the ban list, and that's it. Overall, Sword Soul has always seemed like quite a fair deck. So, moving forward, I think it's just going to be pretty much the same, maybe a bit more heavily focused on the actual blackouts, it being, back row, because right now you can just lose to something like Dark Ruler. That Protoss's effect is not in effect anymore. And another indirect hit to Sword Soul was the Pot of Desires going to 1, just because it does take away a lot of consistency, and now Sword Soul players will need to substitute that with something else. And if we look at Desires and stay on topic a bit longer, it has hurt a lot of decks. And I guess we're a bit confused as to why Desires would go to 1. And it's not just because Konami would like to push some of the more expensive pots that, people will have to play now instead of Desires, but it's actually just a consistency hit to a lot of decks because almost all of them ran it at 3. So if you look at Striker, if you look at Virtual World, some of the Prank Kids builds, some of the IDS builds, also Pure Tri Brigade that is still untouched. So the Pot of Desires going to 1 is also an indirect hit to Pure Tri Brigade and also Sword Soul as previously mentioned. So this is probably why the Pot of Desires going to 1 is going to change a lot of things, just because every single deck, like I mentioned before, ran it at 3. So now we will just have to substitute with other, copies of other cards. The next deck we should touch upon would be obviously the birds. So Simorgh got banned and Lyrilusc Starling went to 1, which is great. It's not that free to go into Utopic anymore. And also overall, that deck in particular was just, I played it a bit, but it started to bore me at some point, and it also felt too good in a sense and just annoying to pilot, to play against, and I honestly didn't particularly like it. So this hit, when it comes to Simorgh and its protection, targeting protection, this is great because any uninteractive stuff I feel like should just be removed from the game altogether. And Starling and its ability to surge takes away a lot from the deck. So I'm really interested to see where it's going to go next. And in my opinion, the Pure Tri Brigade build is going to be very much dominant moving forward, and the bird players will more than likely just move back to the Pure Tri Brigade stuff. I might play Pure Tri Brigade again with DPE and all of that. And yes, the Desires hit did hurt, but it's still not as bad as how birds got hit at the end of the day. So there's that. And as for the decks that weren't hit at all, IDS went almost untouched. Nadir Servant went to 2. That's a slight hit to consistency. Other than that, everything pretty much stayed the same. Also, Phantom Knights Scythe went untouched, which in my opinion is very wrong. It's something we're gonna have to deal with. And since we did get back Lunalight Tiger, I know this is a huge shift in topic, but listen. We got back Lunalight Tiger. I'm a bit scared, honestly, but if you Cosmic Cyclone it away, then you just don't have to deal with the problem anymore. And with Scythe being legal still, Cosmic Cyclone might, be an important tech moving forward. And the third reason why we might just have to main back removal would be Skill Drain to 3. Now, this is this is wild. It's very much interesting. It's very similar to Master Duel, which I think maybe they just waited with the ban list to see how everything shapes up to be on Master Duel, to see if some of the hits are really I guess, warranted, and how some things might work looking at Master Duel stuff and replays. And skill drain is a 3 there, and I guess they decided that, you know, they don't deem it a problem. So there's that. So pretty much, if you look at Imperial Order versus Skill Drain, obviously Order is horrible and it should be banned, and you can deal with Skill Drain a bit more easily when it comes to back row removal because you can actually activate it. And there's also the fact that a deck like Prankit is not really bothered by it, to be honest. And with the Brave token stuff, they just very well might be one of the best decks moving forward, honestly. So them not being sort of, them not caring about skill drain that much just makes them even better, because with the Meow Meow hit to 1, it's not like the deck is at full power anymore. So that's something to take into account. And if you look at a deck that actually did gain something from skill drain going to 3, that would for sure be Eldritch. So Trap Lich, basically, you know, any Eldritch variant almost with traps. It's annoying, and it does feel a bit degenerate. You having to go into a board of more than likely set Sanguine Conch, skill drain, although that is like a perfect hand, and you know how consistency of trap decks is not really at an all-time high ever. But still, the back row removal I talked about before will very much come in handy when it comes to those decks. So all of us will probably just have to cite in Lightning Storms and stuff like that, and thank God it got reprinted. But yeah, I guess they do want us to spend a bit more when it comes to, for example, Pot of Prosperity instead of Desires, Lightning Storm to get rid of all of the trap boards. So yeah, they do want us to spend a bit more money, but I guess it's something we need to take into account because the list is here and it's official, and it's something we're gonna have to be dealing with. And a couple more decks that really didn't lose almost a thing would be Sky Striker, and then also Dragon Link, that for sure didn't lose anything. If anything, it gained something because the Strudo is back, and that's, you know, it's a bit of a scary thing again. But Dragon Link legit, like Striker Dragon is a 1, but that's not really, it doesn't really hurt the deck that much, and you can play the Strudo, you can still go into fiber plays if you want, and obviously the Strudo in itself can just be ran with the entire Yadi Mirror package. Going second, that's incredibly strong. So I think it's pretty much up to the player base and its imagination to see where the Destrudo going to 1 can lead us. Virtual World, obviously, Italy is back at 3. I think that's cool just because Virtual does struggle with consistency. Sometimes I would see builds with Pot of Desires, like I mentioned before. Now, obviously, this is not an option anymore to have 3. So I'm guessing just builds with Prosperity, things like that, and with 3 Italy might start popping up. So that's something to, I guess, look out for. And when it comes to Drytron, now, I did not particularly get into Drytron for the last couple of formats. I know what's going on with them. Looking at it from a perspective of someone that wasn't exactly playing Drytron for the last couple of months, I can still say that Eva, of course, hit the deck a lot, but I guess the players will just have to sort of shift into particularly playing some other engines like Pre-Prep with Dawn of the Herald or Megalith, just because at this point, when you cannot just freely load your hand with fairies, you're just gonna have to loop Benton even more. It's obviously still at 1, so that makes it a bit harder. So all of these other engines will come into play, and I'm guessing we'll just have to test it out and see what really works. And ultimateness is not, you know, exactly worth it anymore, probably. Maybe just try going for the Herald of Perfection route, because you can easily get it out and then loop Benton with Dawn of the Herald and load your hand with fairies that way. So that would, I guess, be my take on Drytron. And then a couple last things. So Raigeki went to 3. I'm guessing that's just gonna have to be tested out, and I guess we're gonna have to see if it's even worth playing it 3. Salamangreat Circle is back, you know, cool for Salamangreat players. Also, a Hero Lives, good for hero players. Scapegoat, probably not going to do much. The last time it was played, it was like the Trickstar deck where you could just climb into links easily. Maybe some decks decide to play it, you know, when they have to really go into links, but I guess only time will tell. And also Nessie, just a good card to be put in decks that really could use an extra draw or an extra body, but still not all of the dangers are back. They very well might be, with Nessie slowly coming back. Although granted, you know, the level 3 dangers are the ones that are actually a bit more risky to release, I feel like, just because level 3 decks obviously can abuse them. Something like BA, and talking about BA, Snow is back. Right now you can try builds with Orbital Hydrolander again, now that you can manipulate the graveyard, and overall it's just very much free in combination with something like Topologic Bomber Dragon if you wanna put it in the pointer, blow up the field. The Book of Moon effect is really good. So yeah, just all in all, you know, Snow is, we'll see. You know, we'll see. But Grass is not back yet, so there's that. I guess we're just gonna have to wait and see if Konami decides to go down that route again. So there's that. And if we just recap very quickly, Swordsoul is still okay. Protoss was degenerate. Birds are a bit meh right now, and we're just gonna shift to Tri-Brigade more than likely. Joy-Chan is going to struggle a bit. Dragonling is something to very much be aware of, that it's there. Striker is still cool. Yeah, one Fusion Destiny is gone, but you know, it's whatever. DPE is still here. Anaconda is still here. Prankits and Phantom Knights are again a couple decks to be on the lookout for. Virtual World got a boost, and then all of the other decks, of course, like Hero, like Solomon Great, and IDS was not hit, so that's cool. You know, normal summoning Alistair is going to be happening a lot again. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Hopefully this video was cool and enjoyable to listen to. Let me know down in the comments what you think about the ban list, what you feel like might happen to some of the decks, what you're gonna be playing in the upcoming format, and yeah, just chat with me as always. Make sure to give the video a like, give me a sub, check out my Discord and Twitch, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.